December 7th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 30th.
Motion to approve the minutes of November 30th.
Second?
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item A under correspondence, correspondence received from Construction CAD Solutions Incorporated requesting permission to install underground fiber optic cable at 4726 Calumet Avenue. It's probably okay with us, but they're going to need to run that past NDOT because they are the property owner for that. So we can grant approval subject to NDOT's concurrence.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item B, correspondence from Construction CAD Solutions Incorporated requesting permission to install underground fiber optic cable at 1836 Summer Street. That's our street, so there's no problem.
Okay. Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against, motion passes. Item C, correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, City Engineer, requesting installation of 30-minute parking restrictions at 2 spaces in front of 6942 and 6948 Indianapolis Boulevard, per the request from the 5th District Councilman Dave Warple. We can approve that, and I think we have a letter prepared to send to NDOT to get their concurrence.
Need to go anywhere else?
No, the last page is the letter. So, yeah, we can approve it subject to NDOT approving it also.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item D, correspondence received from Kelly Kearney, Chief of Inspection, requesting 1 westbound lane of 165th at State Line Avenue be closed and 1 northbound lane of State Line Avenue north of 165th Street be closed on December 7th, which is today, for a garage demolition.
Well, the
Are
good
they
news
already
is-
working out there?
No, actually, I got notification last night that they're actually going to start tomorrow.
Okay.
I have been in contact with Public Works as far as getting barricades out there, that the contractor will be responsible for setting up. He's going to have some cones also, understanding how busy that intersection is. But if you could picture where this garage is at, it's going to be, we're going to need room to be able to operate. That would be the north lane, westbound, and then the east lane, northbound State Line.
Okay.
So basically that corner, I want to take it from Forest and then past the property on the State Line side. State Line on being as busy. It's operating machinery, getting the backhoe in there. We got lines that we got to deal with. It's going to be pretty complicated. Although it's only a garage, it's going to be complicated as far as loading and maneuvering the equipment. So this will actually be for tomorrow morning.
Just tomorrow?
Just tomorrow. I am hoping it's for one-day demolition. Truthfully, I'm very hopeful that it's a one-day demolition.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item E, resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Hammond authorizing disposal of surplus property under Indiana law.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against, motion passes. Item F, disposal authorizations received from Hammond Police Department.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Item G, hearing on property located at 945 Hoffman Street.
Sergio Hernandez. I'm going to live in 945 Hoffman Street.
Okay, so this is a 2-unit. Mr. Hernandez purchased this property in 2016. It was registered in 2016 as 2 units. He didn't register in 2017. He wasn't aware. He did let me see identification as far as him living in the front unit. So what we're looking for is one rental registration for 2017. And I also made him aware that he needs to register this unit every year between January and April.
Make a motion to waive the late fee. The one unit must be registered at a rate of $5 for 2017, and an affidavit needs to be signed for the other unit.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Those against, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Janet Venez, who is a regular at our meetings, which is a good thing. Item H, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing.
Make a motion to set for hearing on January 4th, 2018.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item I, correspondence received from Mr. Gary Gleason, Director of Public Works, advising Public Works has put slag on the 4900 block of Paxton Avenue, but the business owners are requesting a different solution to the condition of the roadway. Well, probably now we're looking at anything with asphalt next year. So they're gonna probably have to survive with the slag for the time being.
Do we need any action on it?
Yeah,
I
we don't
mean,
need any action on that.
Okay.
It's just,
We can refer it to the street department, and so you can put it on the hot patch list when the weather breaks.
Well, this
yeah,
is
but there's,
from Gary.
but there's nothing there.
Knows. Yeah, he
Yeah,
knows.
and there's nothing there, so there's nothing to patch. It's always been a gravel street. In fact, there's a pretty good case made that the property owner should really pay for the first roadway under the Indiana Barrett bond law. And then, once that happens, then the city would then maintain it.
If I may add, consider the trucks that are coming in and out of there, you're not just gonna be able to lay a path of asphalt.
You're gonna need a big cross-section.
Constructing the street.
Well, I don't think we need any action today. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what they say next spring.
Okay.
Okay, item J, correspondence received from Knights of Columbus, 1696, requesting street closure and no parking signs placed on 119th Street and Atchison Avenue for the pierogi drop on New Year's Eve, December 31st, through Monday, January 1st, 2018. The only problem I see is they've got a dead end at the St. John parking lot right here. So I don't,
Is this
wonder if they should discuss this further with Gary Gleason as to how to mark that. Because 119th is a pretty busy street to just have a dead end.
Did they do this last year?
They actually did it last year, but I don't think they closed the streets last year, from what I remember. Did they close both of them? Well, how did I drive up there and watch it?
You can drive down 119. I think they want to close it at Atchison on 119.
Well, they want to close it from the St. John's parking lot entrance to almost Indianapolis Boulevard.
Oh, so
Yeah, they want to close 119th. The
so that's why they
Atchison,
do that.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll make a motion to refer to Gary Gleason for review and recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item K, correspondence received from resident David Pustek requesting permission to post deer crossing on the 2500 block of New York Avenue signs. I think he wants to put his own sign up, which is really not kosher. Is that you? Yeah, typically they're standardized signs. There's a uniform traffic device manual where all the signage is all regulated and it needs to be a specific type of sign. So as not to create any type of confusion or to create any type of liability for the city for having something that's non-standard. We can have Gary take a look at it and see if it warrants a deer crossing sign. And it probably does, because I know my sister says she's seen deers out there and she lives in that neighborhood. So let's refer this to Gary.
So moved.
Did you want to say something? Come up to the mic so we can hear you.
There are two signs on 129th Street, one going east and one going west. I don't like the quality of those signs, so if they're standards, that's why I wanted to purchase my own, so they are more visible to the cars passing north and south on New York Avenue. Now, this has become very urgent for me because of all the construction going on New York Avenue. You know, with the knocking down of trees, the creating of these lost marsh estates, there's a lot more activity with these deers. Now, last year with the deers across the street, usually on the St. Joseph property, I've seen as many as 10 deers in a group, you know, just feeding across the street on the grass. You know, I was always scared that they would come over to across the street onto my property, and so far they have not last year. So I would put food on the St. Joseph guys so they would stay across the street. This year it's different, and there's been a lot of close calls. So I guess I'm speaking up for, I think this is an urgent matter for me. I really worry about the public safety of cars hitting a deer, and I'm also worried about the animal welfare. So far, in my experience, I've only seen one deer hit on 129th Street, and for some reason that deer was laying there for a day or two. So I didn't understand that. I just wanted to do this without causing any kind of burden to the city of Hammond. I think it's urgent, and I do like the quality of my sign versus the city sign.
Well, the city sign is a standard sign based on the manual. Did you want to comment on this, Chris? 'Cause
I don't know that manual. So.
Maybe Gary could take a look at the sign.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was going to refer it to Gary and let him look at it.
I don't have the sign yet. I ordered it. I've already purchased it. I didn't know about, you know, Article 21.
Is it a standard sign?
And it's 18 by 18. And instead of saying deer crossing, it says deer Xing.
Can we have a picture of the sign sent to the board for us to review?
That's fine.
Maybe he can send that, we can send this to Gary, and if you could send that to the board, we can send the photo to Gary to see if that will be fine to put in. It's in the city parkway is the issue.
Right, that's where it would have to be
Well,
placed in the
again,
park.
I don't understand this because I plant trees there, I plant bushes there. You know, last year I planted a nice flower garden, you know, on the parkway. You know, we're not talking anything different here, of putting a stick
Well,
in the
yes,
ground.
it's a big difference
You know, and
because
the-
there's all
and then
kind
the
of
alternative,
regulations on
I could park my
signage.
car in the front of the house and put the signs on my car, you know, it serves the same purpose.
I think we're going to need Gary to review it. Sir, if this is a public parkway, we have to follow the guidelines for whatever signage is there. If we could see it, if it works, then we'll
Yeah,
allow it.
again, I'm speaking up because of urgency. You know, last night we almost had it. They do come across the street, you know, they're coming across the street early as 6 o'clock when there's a lot of traffic. They used to come across the street usually in the wee hours of the morning, you know, 3:30 in the morning, midnight. But again, this is the fourth time I've seen them cross the street, a doe and her fawn come across the street. And again, when they go back after they find their food, you know, there's that traffic issue.
The alternative is that you put it up, and we're going to have somebody go over there and take it down immediately. So I think we'd rather take a look at it, give you permission to put it up if it's in compliance with the standards, and allow it to exist.
Yes, and it's the third time I'm asking about the urgency and the timing. I don't know how long it's going to take this person to come and observe.
Well, we don't have the sign in front of us, so as soon as you send that to us, we meet every week. So that he'll be able to review it, he'll give us a recommendation, he typically turns it around within the week's time, and if it's acceptable, we will approve it at our next week's meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so
Thank
if you
you
get
for
that
the
to us
time.
as soon as possible, that would be helpful.
And who do I send it to? Is there
To,
just a general email?
Want to send it to Lynn again?
Lynn?
The Board of
To the
Public
law.
Works and Safety. Law, yeah, law.
Law, L-A-W, at GoHammond.com.
Yeah, that's where I sent my message.
That'll be fine.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
We move down to item L. We don't need action on it, right? Or do we need action to send that to Gary?
Well, we have.
Oh,
the-
that's right.
Yeah,
So
when
want
we
to
get the photo, I'll make a motion to send the request to Gary Gleason for review and recommendation once the photo of the sign has been received.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item L, local funded Chicago Street Water Main Design Engineering Agreement with American Structure Point. I think it's 17,500? 800?
Is that different than what we discussed last week?
Yeah, we were discussing, I think, 30,000, so it's actually less.
Mayor staff meeting on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
My expectation was gonna be, it's less than what was expected.
Okay.
And this would be funded through shared gaming.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item 6, matters from other board members. Is that what these are?
I think that's it.
That's the old business. Matters from other department heads or their representatives. New business, old business. Under old business, we have, the first item is AA, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty regarding correctional officer promotions and pay adjustments. This was deferred last week.
We still need some more information on this one. I'll make a motion to defer action until next week.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item BB, change order received from RSR Demolition LLC.
Actually, we're dealing with two different addresses, two different change orders. The first one that was brought up last week was 3905 Oak Crest. What had happened is, they had the asbestos inspection, there was none found. When they started digging up the foundation, they found some wrap pipe, wrap ductwork in the pad. What we did is have them separate that, tarp it, block it so it wouldn't blow away, and then you hired a company to come in and change that. That caused downtime for the contractor, as well as bringing in someone to remove that as soon as possible. Demolition's been finished, it's been okayed. They did what we asked them to do. I asked that we go ahead and approve the change order.
So this invoice is part of that change order, or is it completely
The
separate?
total was $38.80, I believe. That was both the asbestos removal and the downtime for the contractor with the trucks and manpower and backhoe.
But we only have the one invoice before us. Where is the other one? Has it been paid already?
No, nothing's been paid. We're trying to process it. Can I see the invoice that you have?
Yeah. So this came before us last week, and we were a little confused about it.
I was on vacation. This is the invoice from the actual removal of the asbestos.
Okay.
The total that they're asking for is for the contractor's downtime also. We can get you that invoice. There's not a total on here. I think we all realize that we've had some issues with this contractor as far as paperwork and getting it in a timely fashion. We need to be paid but not providing that. I'll get that copy up to you immediately after the meeting.
But we are confident in the number of the change order.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the change order.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes.
There's also another change order that came about on 816 Summer Street, and what had happened here is actually a water service line that had 3 houses on
Is
it.
that the same contractor?
Same contractor. This particular case, he was digging out the foundation again, hit a water line, and that had to be capped and stopped. Water department had to come out, holiday weekend, and capped it so we could, but as best as we could, so the hole wouldn't flood without shutting on water to the house next door. So again, downtime and the extracurricular activity that need to be done from the water department and myself coming out and trying to assess the situation.
So that's not part of this one, though,
That's not
right?
part of one.
Okay.
this
Do we
one,
need
no.
to,
That was- I
do we
think
need
that's
to
already
take
actually
action?
been through. I just want to make clarification that there will be a change order on that. There is a
Okay,
change
okay.
order on that, and the project has been done. Both of these have actually been completed and capped off.
Okay,
We need a motion on the second one, but, right?
we don't have it. You said you're gonna submit a change order for the second one, correct? Okay.
Well, then what's that? That's got a price on it,
That one, and so does the other one.
This is the first change order. That one's,
right? And that one we approve, but the second one,
this isn't a change order. This is
Oh,
part
just-
of this.
okay.
Yeah, that's where we were
Okay.
confused with the invoice.
yeah, I didn't look at it close enough, sorry.
So,
Okay, so
think
if
we're
there's
good.
no other old business, then we'll move to meeting is open to the public. Is there anyone in the audience like to step up to the microphone? Yes, ma'am.
Did you approve the change order under BB?
yes.
I just want to make sure. Good morning. My name is Natalia Pozos. I live at 238 Doty Street. I brought a letter to the board, better yet stating that my fiance, he's handicapped. We have a driveway, and we've been trying to get a sign put up as a handicap, but because there's a driveway, they will put up a sign for handicap. Another thing that we've been having an issue is with people blocking us coming in and getting out of our driveway. And that's being, that's not right, because we have to get out for an emergency. How are we going to get out? We have to keep calling the police all the time, which it shouldn't be necessary, where they could be doing something else better than to assist us trying to find a person that the car belongs to. Another thing is too, my grandson goes to Wallace School over here on Jefferson Street in Calumet, and the houses around on Jefferson Street, there is a sign that says do not block drive. I even took a picture of it. The gentleman that's sitting over there at the corner, he told me that those signs were there no more. I said, the signs were not there last month. They were there this month. So I want to know what is going on. And us as a taxpayer, why are we allowed to have a sign like everybody else could have a sign, a decent sign?
This one came before us a few months ago.
Yeah.
A few months ago, and we sent it to the street department for review.
And I think Gary responded that they don't install those signs anymore.
But he would paint, he would yellow paint.
I'm sorry, but it's been painted already, and we still have to call the police. People do not respect anything, honestly. And so that's why I brought this picture, so you could see that there are people that do have this sign out there. And like I said again, as we as a taxpayer, I think we should be looked as a person, not a taxpayer.
Do you know why we no longer install those signs? Do we have any idea on that?
Being over there for years, I know when those were installed on the village drive, they were illegal to begin with years ago. And so we took them down all across the city. Why that one was installed there, I can't answer that.
Okay.
I think it came to the point where there were so many people with driveways. If one wants one, others don't want it, you're just gonna have a street full of do not block driveways. But I can't honestly answer why that's on.
Okay, well, some people do have driveways, but what about in his instance, Mr. Valdez, he is handicapped. Do I have to bring some documentation saying he's handicapped to get a handicap sign, which the city will not put one because of our driveway? Does that make any sense to you? The reason they don't put, this one I know, because we had it before, the reason that we don't put one if there's a driveway is because the driveway is a closer parking spot than in front of the house. So the idea with the handicap parking is to ensure that there's a close parking spot for an individual who doesn't have a driveway, or they have their garage in the back, they all have, people have, and then there is nowhere close for an individual to be able to get to. If there's a driveway, the driveway is always going to be closer to the house than in front of the house. I agree with that, but still, all in all, why do we have to keep calling, again, the police constantly just to pull in? I would say probably about as long as this podium right here on each side. And people still park there. I mean, we have to call the police. Like I said,
Well,
they
even if
could
you
be
had
doing
the
something
sign,
else.
if they don't respect that, don't you think even if they had the sign, they would
It's worth
still
a
park?
try, isn't it?
Huh?
It's worth a try. We could avoid, the taxpayers' money going to something into better use for the policemen. Then, can we get a sign? That's all I'm asking for. It's a simple sign. I'm not asking for a miracle. I'm just asking for a simple sign.
Talk to Gary. I can talk to Gary.
We could send it back to Gary and see what he says.
Can we,
It's his responsibility to maintain all the
all right,
signs.
we can,
Sure. As a matter of fact, you want to take a copy of the picture?
Those signs on Jefferson Avenue were put there because the entire block complained that when people came to pick their kids up from school, that they had no place to park in front of their homes.
Right.
That's why those were put up.
Okay, see, as he said that he wasn't aware of it, so you
Well,
guys
this
are not on the
happened,
same
this has
page.
only happened within the last 30 days, probably.
Yeah, because like I said, last month they weren't there.
And so there was a specific lady who lived at 6200, I'm not sure the address.
Mm-hmm.
She went down her entire block, and I think she got signatures, or certainly got their okay, that this is what I'm trying to do, and they agreed with her, that many times they would come home, and they couldn't park anywhere in front of their home because people were there to pick up their kids from school.
Right, that's understandable, but like I said, over here, he's handicapped. I'm not asking for everybody to come and ask for a sign, but if it's a necessity, since we can't get a handicap sign, can we at least get a sign do not block the driveway. And if that the lines don't work, the sign doesn't work, then I guess we just have to take it off again. It's the taxpayers' money
Well,
that's
I'm
being put
guessing
into
cars
use.
that park there, they're parking right up to the edge of your
Yes,
driveway. It
they
makes
are.
it difficult to get in and get out. Is
Yes,
that the
it
deal?
is. Yes, it is.
We'll send the photo, have a conversation with Gary again, see what we can do. You know, we have to make sure that we're not posting anything that
Right. No,
shouldn't
I
be there,
understand
but
that.
see
I
if
mean,
there's
you know,
anything else that we can do to try to help your
I understand, but
situation.
it's like I said, as a taxpayer, I think we should be, entitled to get a sign. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah, motion to.
I'll make a motion to refer to Gary Gleason, the street department, for a second review and recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone else who'd like to step up to the microphone?
Hello again.
Aye.
It seems today's a sign day. I'm just kind of doing follow-up on my other sign for 6040 Holman. Antonio Alvarez from Xavier Research, address 6040 Holman. Trying to find what occurred with, I guess Gary Gleason had sent a report, or needed a report from the police department regarding the safety concerns of if a no parking sign could be removed and no parking from, I think, 4:30 to 6:30, which is the traditional sign that's on Holman Avenue. I'm just following up.
I don't think we got response
No.
back from PD. I don't think we do.
Okay, the wrong one.
Gotta reach out
To the police
Police
department, have
department.
traffic take a look at it, because it is very, very close to the intersection.
Oh, it could be problematic, what he's asking for, but PD was gonna make that recommendation to us, and they haven't done so
Do we
yet.
have it? No response?
No.
Okay.
It's been referred over to the police traffic department, and they're supposed to get back to us, and they haven't gotten back to us yet, but
Okay.
I'll make a motion to ask for status on that, so we can see where we're at with that.
Okay.
motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Now, there's, then the same, I guess my block cross street, there was also a no parking sign that was previously there that's been removed. So I just want to make sure that they didn't remove the wrong sign. That was other comment I want to make to that effect. Because there
Say
was.
that one again?
So on, 6040 Holman is the old Sawyer Cottage property. Across the street from there, there's,
Church, is it a church?
Church 7-Eleven.
Parking lot?
Yeah, just right across from me. So it's the old 7-Eleven, a house, and then the large expanse of the church. There was a no parking sign like mine there. I noticed it was removed, so maybe they moved the wrong sign. I'm not sure, but I know that's not there anymore either. And that's for heading northbound on Holman. So maybe it was just an error on that aspect. Again, I don't know, so that's what I'm asking.
They would typically still send us a response, just to let us know what action they were taking.
Okay.
So we'll follow up with the police department to see where they are with that review.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we vote on that?
Second.
Where we at?
Do we
Motion
vote?
and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to step up to the microphone? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.